Hey, we're going to do a little book review in front of the Christmas tree, the naked Christmas tree that no longer even has a Christmas tree skirt because Mercy has eaten that. So, yeah, we're going to do a little book review because I just finished the Betrayals and I have thoughts and I have them all written down in my new handy dandy way that I'm trying to get organized for 2023 so I can give you guys more individual book reviews. And let's just jump into this book because I got to talk about it. So I picked up The Betrayals by Bridget Collins while I was away in Portugal with my boyfriend back in October. And I was super excited because, I mean, it's beautiful. I've heard really good things about her first book, The Binding, but I haven't read it. And so I got it. It sounded good. It sounded very dark academia. It sounded like something I would like. And just was like on board, totally on board for this. Super psyched. Started reading this in a vlog and it was good. I was enjoying the writing. I do enjoy the writing. But now that I'm done, I just feel so disappointed and let down and frustrated and confused by this whole book. So let's kind of break it down a little bit here. I do rambling reviews, so this is not going to be terribly coherent, but it's going to be my best attempt at being coherent. So The Betrayals is set in like some setting, somewhere vaguely French, in some sort of fascist dictatorial regime. And there's a school, and that school is for kids, no, boys, only boys, to learn how to play some sort of weird intellectual game that's apparently the same as the game in this Herman Hesse book, The Glass Bead Game. Very similar, draws heavily on that. I don't know. I'm not that intellectual. But it's a game that focuses on like using math and art and music and all kinds of very intellectual things, almost in a form of worship. In this world, Christians are being persecuted, a la like the Jews by the Nazis. They have to wear like crosses on them. They're getting taken out and disappeared. And this is the backdrop of this school. And that's about all you get to find out about that. It jumps between two different time periods. You're in like today, where you have Leo, who's like in his 30s and is sort of a disgraced minister who was like a master of playing this grand jeu, this game at this school. And he won awards. And he gets kind of kicked out of government by like the big honcho and sent back to this school. And the school is currently being run by a lady, which is just unheard of. It's being run by this lady, Claire. And there's something about Claire and Leo, like Claire kind of knows him. Leo's like kind of suspicious of Claire. And it goes between that and Leo's diary from when he was a student there, and how he and his like partner Carfax, who is this kind of like abrasive, angry kid who comes from some family that has a history of suicide, and so he's kind of ridiculed, like, you know, kids are really nasty. So this, you know, there's stuff going on with Carfax, and there's stuff going on with Leo. And then there may or may not be some like queerness going on between Carfax and Leo. And that part's all very exciting. We like that part. We like all that character development. And we like all the stuff in the current day with like whatever tensions are brewing between Claire and Leo. And that's sort of where everything falls off. Like there's nothing else. There's zero world building in this book. She drops these like really vague and mysterious hints at what could be a really fascinating world. Like, what is the party? Why are the Christians being carted off? What is the political point that you are trying to make with the story? Why are women so hated? What is the role of women in this world? I have so many questions about the world. You created like an interesting enough premise of the world, but then gave us nothing. Nothing. There's nothing. And somehow, even though the game is discussed multiple times throughout the entire book, dare I say almost ad nauseum, I still don't really understand how this game is played, what the point of this game is. Somehow there's some historical context where this used to be like, instead of being individuals doing a thing, used to be like individuals dueling. That sounds interesting. Why don't you talk more about that? Oh, you don't. You don't talk anything about that. So I know nothing about that. She leaves so many nuggets of like potential brilliance and then does nothing with them. And the ending I found incredibly just disappointing. It just sort of ends, in my opinion. There's this character, the rat, who's sort of like this ghostly character who gets a point of view, like popped in here and there. She's sort of lurking around the halls of this school. She's kind of interesting. Do we get more about her? Not really. at the end of the day, it's just such a freaking letdown. And I was like, okay, I guess this is why I haven't heard a lot about this book. So I went on and I Googled and I listened to a few different reviews, and I'll link two reviews that I did listen to make sure that like I'm not crazy. I did see some positive ones, but most of them are like how I feel, which is like this is a hot mess. Like this book is a hot mess. The writing itself is fine in general, but like it's a hot mess. The world is a hot mess. You have a character-driven story that also has no character development. How? I don't know. But the thing that I keep finding, the thing that comes out of this whole thing is that I need to read the binding because the binding is supposed to be spectacular. So I don't know why I had to read this book to learn that this is garbage, but then I should read her other book because it's not. But I did. That's how this went. Yeah, I mean, I guess I could harp on and on about how disappointed I was with this entire story, but it's gonna be really repetitive, and then it's gonna be like hearing about the game over and over and over again, but getting no further information because I have nothing to add. You gave me so much promise, Bridget Collins, and then you just didn't fully deliver. It just didn't feel like a fully actualized novel. Considering it's over 400 pages, that seems like something went wrong, terribly, terribly wrong. But I'm willing to give the binding a try. If you want to see more individual reviews of books that I've read, please like and subscribe. Leave a comment if you've read this. Leave a comment if you read the binding. Just leave a comment. Say hello. The algorithm likes comments. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in my next video, whatever it may be, because it's my channel and I can do whatever I want. Bye.
So just sit with me, talking to the night until the morning, building chemistry. I don't think I ever wanna go come closer next to me. Trying to find another way to say this, but I think